DatzydecoGurl. 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 DatzydecoGurl.
Alright guys, coming from all the way from New Orleans, it is your host once again, DatzydecoGurl on the Bayou Interviews. Here we are with Reginald Smith Jr., the Saxation of New Orleans. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. You heard me right. Reggie, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. I see you got your horn with you today.
Yes.
That's on point. You feeling good, you know?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling awesome.
Right?
It's all right.
All right, feeling hopeful
Good
for the new
moods.
year?
Oh,
Yeah? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump right into it. You know how we do. We're gonna get the perspective of the artist so you can get to know them a little bit better, so we can all come together and coexist moving forward with the new year and good things. All right. So Reggie, you have a book. Many people don't know you have a book. Your book titled No Expression Explained, what is that exactly about?
Well, what it does is it helps people understand how to speak the language of music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that music is a language, you know. I mean, we put them in categories and we have, you know, general ideas of, you know, where music comes from, the southern music, western music, up north music, but just understanding how to express it, you know, what people, you know, draw themselves to. Why does a person play a song over and over again? So, you know, songs that make you dance, for example, or songs that make you think of a, you know, an old friend or something like that. You know, what do I do how do I play it to communicate that to somebody? So that's what I'm basically, you know, trying to demonstrate in the book, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's pretty cool because, you know, through the musical aspect, you know, many people think musicians just jump on stage, you're playing music, you're doing music videos, things like that, but the creative side that we deal with gets us to create more and expand our options infinitely, and that's what we get our viewers, our guests, our fans of our music to, you know, to use that side of the brain to just come up with infinite possibilities for themselves and just, you know, the optimistic side of things of life.
Right.
That's pretty cool. When did you come out with that book?
I came up with it in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017. I was giving lessons to a friend, and as I was explaining, you know, what to do or how to play the saxophone, I was teaching what I was taught.
Okay.
And as I was teaching what I was taught, I realized I was teaching it wrong. So it made me reevaluate what I was teaching and wanted to come up with a more efficient way to articulate the practices so that way I can get the result that I wanted.
Okay,
So,
and all this is based out of that book. That's pretty phenomenal. You know, you're offering creative points within your literature, and you're getting them to also use their own creative forces and sides to kind of teach them to grow, to move forward, to be better, and to learn about what they're actually capable of, and to push themselves past their, you know, actual expectations of, okay, am I good at this or am I not? Like, you're just teaching, you're encouraging them to go forward. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Okay, what is your specific language of music, and how do you translate that to others wanting to know how to play the saxophone better?
Well, the specific language, it's just, well, as a musician, I've been playing for over 25 years. So when it comes to music, I've grown to understand the different things, how music affects us. So for me, it's just understanding basically, I try to cater to the person, see what they want out of it, you know, as they're playing. So what I try to do is, okay, as a musician, are you trying to get ready for Sunday? You know, are you getting ready for that gospel, you know, song? Or are you trying to learn music overall? So for me, it's just understanding how to approach the situation, because it's not just getting on stage and playing, as you know, it's understanding the need and how to fill the need for the particular audience member, or even, and what we're talking about, even how to approach it to teach for the student, how to show them, okay, what are we trying to achieve? Like you said, is it a funeral? Is it a wedding? Am I making somebody fall in love again? Am I making somebody dance? And for me, it's just understanding, okay, what are we trying to achieve? Is it,
Right.
okay, mellow? Is it loud? Are we getting
Right.
excited?
Right.
You know, so all those elements come into play as I'm teaching the language of music, because it's like acting. You know, when it comes to acting, you don't think, I mean, you see Spider-Man on the wall, but you don't realize Spider-Man's not on the wall.
At all.
And somebody taught him how to make you believe that he's sad, or to root for him, or to root for the Terminator, because he's just, you know, that guy, you know, he's so exciting to watch. It's like somebody had to teach them to do that. And that's what I want to do, is show people how to express, you know, and just like any actor, you got good actors and you have bad actors, but overall, you know, just understanding how to translate, you know, that thing. Are you going to be the comedian of music? Are you going to be the action star of music?
Right.
You know, what's your overall focus? What I mean by, and breaking it in musical terms, a blues player? Are you a jazz player? You know, are you going to play, you know, like I said, dance music, Latin music? So for me, it's understanding what you're trying to get out of it, and that way I can help you achieve that goal.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool and highly respected and understood. And again, you know, while we do this at the Bayou Interviews, is so we can understand the different perspectives, the raw perspective, because I can't tell these musicians, the small business owners, the artists, I can't tell their story. They are the ones that can give their true viewpoint, so you can understand things a little bit from the other side of the stage, if you will. Going back to this book, it seemed the book opened up doors for you to want to teach. How long have you been teaching, and at what school are you educating others at?
How long have I been teaching? I've been teaching I've been teaching now for about 15 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, you know, I've been teaching, student teaching, as well as teaching lessons. Right now I teach at Louisiana Academy of Performing Arts.
Okay.
And you know, I have my students, and I teach ages from preteens all the way up to people who are 74 years old. So it doesn't, you know, you're never too old to learn how to play or understand, you know. So what we do is, as teachers and educators, just try to bridge the gap, like you said, defeat the need, and see where you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just like, you know, you have people in their 60s and 70s, they're going to college and getting these degrees now. You know, don't ever let age stop you. Age is only truly a number, you know? All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you have those things going on for yourself, and you're giving that back to the community, which is what, I mean, makes this whole world go around. You know, the networking, the communications, like, it goes hand in hand, and to balance those things out as a musician takes great integrity, which we know you're more than highly capable of, and which you're acting upon that. So everyone appreciates that, you know?
Thank you.
What are 3 things that you want your students to take from your classes?
Well, I would like my students to learn how to listen, right? Because, I mean, that's a big part of it. And it's just not just do what I tell you to do, but it's understanding how to observe, you know? So listening is a big part of it. As I was saying before, how to speak the language of music, how to express, learn the characteristics that it takes to achieve. So,
Correct.
you know, understand how to identify, and making music pretty.
Right?
You know, it's, you know, one thing when you know how to do it, another thing when you're being expressed to it. But when you're playing it and then you're in the moment, it's also cool to be creative. And that's the thing. I want you to be creative, make music pretty, and find your voice as you're doing it, you know. And I think that's the good part about it, is most of my students, I can teach them, you know, they get past, you know, a certain level, then they're practicing and they're teaching themselves. You know, they don't even need me anymore. So that's the biggest part, is just being able to help them find their voice. So I would say those 3 things.
All right, creating future leaders of the world, you know? I mean, we as musicians, we lead so much without even realizing that we're doing it, but we're doing it with such a openness, you know, a universal, if you will, way of love, just the language of music. It relates to every single person on this earth, whether you're happy, you're sad, you're listening to music. It jars the soul, connects the spirit, and then it tells a story, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay, I understand. All right, Reggie. So my next question is, since you're known, those that don't know him, since you're known for being the Saxation of New Orleans, what new material do we have to look forward to you for the next year?
Well, I'm working on some Christmas music right now for the holidays. A lot of people have been excited to hear some Christmas music, and I was telling them I was working on something, just 1 or 2 songs, and ended up being a thing. So I'm working on Christmas music, as well as finishing up, putting out some more singles from my album, The Arrival. So just giving people something new, something fresh, let them know that I'm still being active in my craft. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Absolutely. Especially with the pandemic and things going on, the creative forces, keeping stuff balanced. So that's awesome. Okay. So saxophone players are mostly known for their skills with the horn and also for their impeccable taste in clothing. What is your go-to style? In the country, out the country, you know how the weather is here in Louisiana. What is that for you?
The style. I like to go a little flashy, a little elegant.
Okay.
You know, I think when you go a little flashy, I think because as musicians, we have to bring our persona with us. You know, our stage persona. People see us, we're visual as performers. So, you know, you want to take that everywhere you go. And then also the elegance comes with it because we play at prestigious places. You want to look nice, you want to be presentable for people who might be watching you for future gigs, or even fans who just might just like the way you are and they connect with you. So it's just good to have a good package. So my go-to is just a little elegant and sometimes a little flashy.
Okay, understood. All right, how did the pandemic affect your students' ability to be able to learn at a distance?
Well, computer screens. It was difficult. A lot of the learning that we do is, you know, we do a call and response, or you're listening, and it's difficult to tell the student to stop or to tell them what's wrong or to figure out, you know, if they're holding the instrument wrong. You know, a lot of things we're doing where it's not just, you know, we're doing a lot of observing. You know, it's hands-on, not necessarily having to touch a person, but watching, saying, okay, what's wrong? Are you breathing wrong? Are you holding the instrument wrong? And to me, a lot of that, it's taken away from, you know, when you're having to watch things from a computer screen.
Okay.
And then, of course, trying to take care of more than one student at a time. Oh, my goodness.
How many students at a time have you taught within the video connecting side?
Well, right now, we've gotten, 15, up to 15 at a time. And, it gets difficult because people ask questions and then you want to make sure you have everybody's attention. And it's different when you're when a person's face, because you can walk by the classroom, do things so that way everybody's still engaged.
Right.
But it's difficult when somebody's just seeing you on the screen.
Yeah.
And to keep everybody's attention, you answer one question.
Right.
There's certain psychological things you can do when you're in a classroom. You can stand next to somebody or somebody, just certain things you can do that you really can't do over the phone.
Right, very true. Good, right, good point. So, I know that you've played all over the world, US, Canada, Europe, South America. What do you want to remind the fans of while we're all going through this great loss of live performances?
Keep supporting your musicians. Keep supporting. People get your expression on. Like, people want to feel a mood. They want to feel great. They want to a connection. And music is a connection that you don't need words, because it's like art. There's only so much you can use to express with words, and that's the beauty of music. Is you just sit back and be in a mood, and it takes you without having to say anything. And to me, just say support your musicians, keep music alive, because it's a part of being human. We want the artists to be alive, we want the music to be alive, we want movies to be alive, because they help us express things that we feel and not necessarily could put words to.
Good point. Very good point. And it's drawing back to, we musicians, we influence so many people. Who's influenced you the most musically and has always kept you on your toes creatively to want to do more?
Besides my band directors? Oh my goodness, because I hear like each and every one of my band directors kicking my behind as I evolve as a musician. So if it's not me practicing, it's the way, I'm hearing things or playing things. But as an artist, believe it or not, I listen to a lot of guitar players, and they keep me inspired. A few of them, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, when I hear cool things, when I hear the passion and the expression that comes behind the music that they play, to me, that's what, like, it just gets me flowing. I'm like,
Right.
oh my goodness, because I'm a very exciting player. I like to just, hit 10, then I'll slow it down and have a little fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, so, that's the flash.
Right.
So for me, it's just, I listen to, like I said, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. When it comes to like saxophone players, I do like Gerald Albright. I like Dave Koz. I grew up listening to Kenny G. I know Kenny G has his haters.
Lord, yes. No, he's the mecca of his time. I will tell you that, man. He still has the same songs, even though I know that he's creating more. But just those iconic songs I remember as a childhood, especially the ones that would just gently put you to sleep.
Right. Oh yeah. So those guys, they kept it fresh. They kept me thinking, and like I said, just listening keeps me inspired to want to go back and go, okay, man, let me try something else. And yeah, those are the artists.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, Reggie, we're coming up to our last question again. Thank you so much, Reginald, for being a part of the Bayou interviews.
All right.
We appreciate, your artistic expression, your perspective, and your rawness of your own story. But this draws us back to this one question. You guys know I love asking this. What do you truly think it takes to be a musician here in Louisiana?
Wow. I think here it takes a little bit of talent, because you have to be talented to get the people's attention. But you have to have drive, creativity, and not to be afraid to be yourself. You have to. It takes some, as a performer on stage. It takes a lot to be comfortable on stage, and a lot of us find ourselves on stage because now it's not just sounding pretty and being behind a shield. Now you have to understand the other side of, okay, now that I play, now how do I, connect with the people? And I think with New Orleans here, you have to understand how to connect with people. You have to understand that it's not just about you. You have to support the culture of music.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I really feel like here, you have to support culture of music. You have to know how to connect with the people. It's not just about you.
Exactly.
So I think here, just have that and drive. You're not just gonna like music and get out there and make it in New Orleans. You have to love it, make it part of your life, and network. So I don't know, did I hit all the points? I feel like I hit a lot of points.
I feel you did. You know what, Reggie? You want to give them a minute of a taste of yourself and your saxophone for a moment?
All right.
For a minute.
For 1 minute?
For
Let's
1
see.
minute. Bravo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stick around, stick and stay for Reginald's live performance. Reginald, thank you so much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, the Saxation of New Orleans. Once again, it's been your host, DatzydecoGurl with the Bayou interviews. Stick and stay, we got more coming soon. All right, thank you.
DatzydecoGurl. 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 DatzydecoGurl.